12 props to get through here. Steve, I'm going to let you lead it off here, my man. Where you want to take us for player prop number one for this upcoming NFL season?
All right, a lot of pressure here. There is one that I like a lot, probably more than anything else on the board right now. It's Gardner Minshew under 2,925 yards. It's at DraftKings. It was 130 earlier. It's now 145. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about this because, frankly, it's only available at one book. So for me, I don't want to give out something that very few people can get. For me, I can't. It's not even worth logging into DraftKings for me because of how low their limits are. But if you do have access to it, if you have a clean account, I certainly endorse that play. Who knows how long Gardner Minshew is going to last this season? I don't anticipate him playing particularly well, and he's not exactly highly thought of. I think they gave him the starting nod just because they want to give Aiden McConnell some more time in that offense to learn how things go. So I do endorse that play fully. Where I'm actually going to go is an interesting one here. It's Daniel Jones under 2,800 at BetOnline. It's actually at FanDuel at 26.25. And we're going to talk about how to play this right now. First off, I'm a Giants fan. Unfortunately, I feel like admitting that to all of you from the start is cathartic. But the Giants are in a better position here. I know Barkley is gone, and obviously that's got the big fanfare and all the conversation. But they really have kind of solidified that offensive line for the first time in Daniel Jones's career. They really haven't had a lot of time to practice together because of injuries, but I think he's going to have more opportunity to sit back in the pocket and actually have some time to throw the ball down the field. In fact, that's one of the things I think you can expect this season from Daniel Jones is literally throwing the ball down the field. Previously, it was all dump off passes or taking sacks because he had no time to throw. When you look at passing, you're obviously talking about the receivers. He's got the best receivers he's had since he's been in the league as well. Malik Neighbors, from all reports coming out of camp right now, is unbelievable. I genuinely feel that he's going to be like a top 15 receiver by the end of the year. I don't think it's out of question. I know that's kind of maybe his ceiling out of the rookie year, but I think he's got that kind of potential. And I almost feel like he's quarterback proof. You throw the ball up to him, he's going to figure out a way to come down with it. Not to mention you have Slayton, you have Hyatt, who's got the speed. They have a lot of different options from that receiving game that maybe none of are household names. But part of that is because of how poor that offensive line has been, how bad the quarterback play has been for the Giants. So I think that there's some reason for optimism. But the reason why I'm giving both of these numbers here is that Daniel Jones has been terrible. I mean, there's also a void in his contract that they're only on the hook for $20 million in dead cap issues. If he gets through the season, they want to cut him at the end of the year, as long as he's not hurt. So we don't even know if he's going to finish out this year. If the wheels fall off this Giants bandwagon, which could happen very early, I would not be surprised if they try to slow things down, make sure Daniel Jones get through the year healthy, even if they have to sit him down and put somebody else in the game, which is why I don't love his over. So frankly, here's how I feel about it. When you're looking at a straddle of 2,800 to 2,600, that's a huge middle opportunity. So, whether you're optimistic about Daniel Jones and you want to put a little bit more down on that over, or you're pessimistic about it and you want to throw some money on the under, I think that you can go 2-for-1 on either side here. For me, I'm going to go with the under 2,800 for 2 units, and I would like the over of 2,600 and 25 passing yards for the over there.
Yeah, I mean, something I should have mentioned. A lot of times when I'm looking at the season-long player props, I mean, unders are usually the profitable angle because, again, a lot of times we see quarterbacks, especially that maybe have somebody behind them that's ready to take their job. Injuries, obviously, number one at that forefront of the list. And maybe guys at the end of the year that no reason to really put them out there because, like Steve mentioned, with the health concerns, that you want to keep them healthy, and there's no really reason to be out there. So, and those couple of factors there can really translate to you cashing the unders on season-long player props. Yeah, I mean, during the regular season, when we go from week to week, there are going to be situations and matchups that we do like for players to go over on their player props and possible, milestone opportunities here as well. But typically when I'm looking at player props here for the season long, unders are honestly the way to go here. And I agree with what Steve, you mentioned about Daniel Jones. Look, they have, Malik Neighbors, obviously this year. You may mention Jalen Hyatt as well. But I think Giants fans know, and most of us know, that Daniel Jones is not going to be a long-term answer for this Giants football team at the quarterback position, right? And again, only like you mentioned with that $20 million cap hit for him, for the Giants on that payroll. So, me being a Texans fan, I saw everything I needed to see in that preseason game. That first throw he made was almost picked, and then he threw that pick six. I think it was in the second drive there for Daniel Jones there. So I think definitely there are better days ahead for the New York Giants. So just keep your head up, my friend, before they do replace Daniel Jones